it was mentioned 8 times. 3 times he used young people. I think 5 times he used youth. And all through the statements in paragraph 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 20, and 27 was where he mentioned young people. And first, he recognized the power of the youth, either as active citizens who placed a demand on his administration to ensure police accountability for violations of human rights as well as extrajudicial killings. That it took youth and young people to organize amongst themselves and place that demand. He also talked about, the entrepreneurial spirit of young people, the power of innovation, and how young people are celebrated globally. Young Nigerians are celebrated globally, having excelled in different aspects of human life. He made a commitment that he would work with the National Assembly to ensure that their legislations, that harness the potentials of young people, haven't recognized that they are assets. There are a few gaps for me in his speech. And first is, whilst the president acknowledges that securing our future begins with young people and the youth innovation and energy, my concern is I don't see a strong commitment on the part of the president to work with young people. His statement is drafted in a way that suggests that he and his administration are working for young people, but there is no strong commitment that he is going to work for young people. And so within the realm of youth development, is still considering or regarding young people as beneficiaries and conscripting them to that particular segment of our society, and not looking at young people as assets and as partners. What I'd expected to hear the president say is my administration will do what? We'll work closely with young people. We would appoint more young people into boards. We would appoint more young people into executive positions. We will work with the National Assembly to ensure the electoral law is amended to reduce the cost for running for office so we can have more young people into office. And I think the president makes the mistake by thinking that just signing the Not Too Young to Run law and reducing the age is sufficient to ensure youth participation. The second point for me, yes, the president acknowledges, reforms in agriculture, reforms in the fintech sector, reforms in business process startups or entertainment. He doesn't talk about politics. And that is, if you look at one of the things that the NSAS movement did, was to raise the political consciousness of young people. And more youth parties are emerging, and a lot of young people want to run for office. I expected that the president would acknowledge this desire on the part of young people to serve their community and make a commitment that his administration will invest in leadership development, will invest in reforming all these institutions of political socialization, like NANS, like the National Youth Council, and youth organizations. I think he lost that opportunity. And for me, it still raises the question of trust and whether young people actually trust that the president will deliver on even these commitments that he has made. Yes, there are interventions. You call it the Nigerian Youth Investment Fund. There's JEEP. There are several interventions of this administration to address job creation or youth unemployment. But the fundamental question is, to what extent is this serving the marginalized young people? How are we ensuring that there's equity in the distribution of public good as it relates to young people? But it's really sad that in the Federal Executive Council today, there's no young person who is speaking for young people. Yes, you have a Minister of Youth who is doing excellently well, but that's not sufficient. You've got to bring more young people on the decision-making table. And if there was one thing I expected the president to say, is to say for 2021, 2022, and 2023, as we prepare young people for leadership, I am going to appoint X percentage of young people into office. But he didn't say that.
Well, Mr. Itodo, this opening is quite challenging. But let's take a break. There is still so much to to decrypt in all of the things that the president said, and as you rightly pointed, especially from those paragraphs. If you have something to say about that as well, you're watching us from wherever, tweet at us